everybody, what is going on? Super here, and today guys I want to talk about everything that is dropping today for the phase 1 part of the long-term roadmap of the game, basically like the next 5 years and everything. So I'm not going to read everything word for word because this is 10 pages long, so we're not going to go over everything. So the first part, they're just basically talking about like the first, couple years of the game. Well, the first 5 years, stuff has changed, blah, blah, blah. Nothing like that we really need to even talk about. The new vision. Just reading through it, there's really nothing I need to talk about. That's just kind of giving us directions of what they want, how they want the game to go and stuff. But I really want to focus on, because look, it's just a lot of reading and stuff. So the new vision, I kind of read the first part of this, and I don't know, there was really nothing I needed to talk about in this, so we've all kind of already understood all of this. But when they actually started talking about the RPG team and what they're gonna roll out for some exciting new champions, that would be cool, and kind of update the older performing ones. And we've all wanted a lot of the older champions to be updated, mine mainly being Magneto, which I'm very happy is getting a buff. So yeah, I've seen some stuff they have planned. It's exciting. I wish we could see some of the stuff. Back issues number 5, variant. Now we knew the next one was going to be the Blood and Venom one, and me personally, I love variants. I wish they would actually come out a lot more, but it was weird, like even reading some of the things from like the older past, like they weren't planning on really bringing any variants out or anything. Like I don't know why the community loved variants and then they just kind of stopped. For whatever reason, I don't know, maybe they wanted to go away from it and work on this book 2, Act 7, whatever. But yeah, variants, majority of the community loves variants, so I'd never seen why they actually stopped that. But here we'll cover this real quick. Once we've heard loud and clear in recent days that the back issues as variant difficulty are high on the list of summoner desires in the contest, I'm happy to report that while we're originally scaling back releases on these, we've taken a swerve and are getting them back into the roadmap in a more focused way. So yeah, that is good. I hope they kind of knock them out, because variants, I love variants. Variants were just, I don't know, all 4 were fun for me. I love doing them. I'm personally excited about this because back issues are some of the favorite quests to work on, and a project I and many others are very passionate about. And that makes me wonder, like, why stop it then? If you guys are so passionate, why stop it? I don't know. Maybe that's questions for another day. Who knows? Back issue number 5, Blood and Venom, will be no exception. We will be going back to champion requirements, but keeping them act wide and layering that in with some tag targeting buffs that will make certain champions very potent in the right place. So, well, let's just read everything first. As for who, I can tell you that for sure, that the man of the hour, his greatest rival, and the hero who hunted him, shall I present on your front line, or someone like them anyway. Back issue number 5 will be released in August as part of a 28.0 build. We are already working on figuring out the back issue number 6 will be. Hoping we'll see it in before 2020 is over. No promises though. Is pretty busy year for us already. For now, I'll pass it over to Kabam Welker to talk about Act 6 and some tweaks we're looking onto. So real quick, going over this, the only thing that just kind of sometimes bother me is with the champion requirements. So I don't know how that's going to be, but I am excited. Like, as long as it's kind of, well, people didn't like variant 1. There were some parts I did like it, there were some parts I didn't like it, but if you didn't have the champs for it, yeah, it sucks. You had to wait for it. I did everything. Like, I didn't have the best champs for it, but I still got it done and stuff. But I don't know, I'm kind of wondering what the champion requirements are going to be. Hopefully it's not going to be just like you have to just use 5 stars. Hopefully you can still use the 4 stars and stuff. Now the tag targeted buffs, that might be a little interesting. I like to see that now. But yeah, like usually variants are going really well, so hopefully this one is going to be very good. We already know the rewards are good, so yeah, I'm just kind of wondering about the champion requirements. Alright, so on to the Act 6. This is Kabam Welker. Says hello, folks. Kabam Welker here to update on design for the direction of Act 6. Act 6 is an immense piece of story content, but we acknowledge that there are some serious pain points inside of it that we need to be addressed and corrected. While some changes will require deeper investigation, there are others that we are confident about going ahead with. So, updating the champion boss fight. This champion was intended to be a fierce and demanding skill check for players players and their rosters, fitting for the late endgame content. We know we could still deliver on that intent without being as hard of a gut check. So we'll be rolling out some updates to his encounter. So damage taken from Nullify in the main event phase will now be reduced from 10% to 2%. Another one is block penetration for the champion will be reduced by 50%. The dexterity requirements in the final phase will be reduced from 5 to 3. That is really huge, actually. That right there is really huge, because I know it's hard for people to get that 5. It is, but in some ways I hated that fight, but in some ways I liked it, because it's like you did have to use skill to do that fight. You couldn't just use unit man and just beat it like that last 10%. You actually had to use skill for that last 10%. So but taking it down to 3 will make that fight a ton easier. The reduce from the 10% 2%, that will be cool, and then the block penetration will be reduced by 50%. That is awesome. And then removing the no retreat buff node, that for me is very huge. I like that very much. Yeah, so now I am now, after all this happens, I might go back in and fight the champion. A lot of things with the Act 6 though, I hate gates. I hated the gates. That was my big thing. I don't mind going to fight the champion. I know I have certain champions that could go up against him. Yeah, the fight's gonna suck overall, but still, I don't mind doing it. It was just the gates that I could not stand. The certain champs that you had, or certain like when you had to use like 4 6-stars on some of them. Like, I don't have the greatest 6-star roster and everything, so certain paths, like I was totally screwed on. Reducing attack values across the entire act. Attack values for the opponent is something we're committed on focusing more on with every new piece of content we're developing, and we're going back into the Act 6, retuning encounters to bring their attack values more in line in comparison of Abyss of Legends and the Grandmaster boss in Act 6 Chapter 4. Attack values for path encounters in Act 6 Chapter 4 were reduced by 40 to 60%, dropping them 15k on average to closer to around 5k to 9k on average, with some even lower. Path fights in 6.3, 6.2, and 6.1 will be scaled down from the top value for top value accordingly. Attack values for the final bosses in Act 6 Chapter 4, excluding the Grandmaster, will be scaled down by 60 to 75%, dropping them from 22k on average to 6.5 to 10k on average. Final bosses in 6.3, 6.2, and 6.1 will be scaled down from the top value accordingly. So, yeah, this is gonna make me want to 100% Act 6 now. It's definitely, I feel like even like with everything scaled down, I don't know, like I wanted to eventually start getting back into Act 6, but it was the gates and stuff. But with everything being scaled down, yeah, I'm gonna go back in there and knock it out, because I'm not really big on the whole Act 6.2 100% rewards, the 100% rewards for 6.3, and I'm not even that big on the 6.4 100% rewards. But the rewards that I do need to progress my account, I need some of those rewards, the T5 basics and all that. But yeah, I eventually will be doing a lot more, because I have to finish. I have like 7 or 8 paths left in 6.2, 6.3, and 6.4. I just did an initial run through. But I'm overall very happy that everything is dropping, the attack values down, everything. So this is overall, for a lot of players, I think this is gonna make their experience a lot, I don't know, their experience in Act 6 is going to be a lot different from my experience in Act 6. Revisit pain point boss fights and path fights. It's clear to see that there are boss fights and path fights implemented in Act 6 that is far too demanding and a niche for the majority of players to engage with. We will be reviewing each chapter in Act 6 and then taking aim in the most egregious encounters and retuning their buff profiles to broaden options for viable encounters, or simplifying their requirements by stripping out unfair buff nodes. We'd like to hear from you, our players, on what your Act 6 pain points with certain bosses were. We have some of our own plans and targets in the works, but they're still early on, and we don't want to limit the possibilities by talking specifics just yet. So they're going to set up a focus group, and so the selection of 20 to 30 summoners from across the battle realm, and work with them to do some discovery surrounding what made some of the more troubling fights problematic. Take a look at our forums to find out how you can get involved. You could also give us your feedback about Act 6 and boss fights in our forums. I'm sure there's plenty of feedback. When and how, we hope this all sounds like a positive step forward, but the burning question will be, when are these changes coming, and what if I've already completed Act 6? For us, Book 2 is an important milestone for mcoc. We want as many of you as possible to experience. This is why our goal is to bring some of all these changes to the game before the launch of Book 2. Read on to find out when. As for those that are recently completed Act 6, we're exposing the options of compensation. We are discussing how we want to manage quest compensation into the future, especially for the top tier content. Alright, so it is good that they're basically going to get some people together to get the feedback on especially like stuff like on Book 2 and everything, because yeah, like without that beta and they dropped that Book 2, that would have been bad. So I do like that they're gonna have not only with like CCP feedback. I'm wondering if these 20 to 30 summoners are not people from the CCP. I would actually rather them not be in the CCP, because then you're going to get a different point of view. So you have the CCP people, and then you'll have these 20 to 30 summoners in this little focus group. So I think those two should be separate. I feel like CC people, which I'm in, should not be in this focus group, even though some of them could give great feedback on everything, but they could also give their feedback in the CCP. This focus group I should be more for, I don't know, just more not for the CCP, definitely not for the CCP. And as for everything else, I do like it that they're gonna give obviously their feedback and everything, and like the whole Book 2 thing. Yes, I'm glad that everyone like spoke up, talked their minds, and said how horrible Book 2 was and everything. So, you know, hopefully with this little focus group and everything, stuff like that gets stopped when they're trying to release something in the beta, and then they want to talk to the focus group, CCP, get all the feedback to know how that content actually is. Is it overtuned? Is it undertuned? Are these nodes too hard? Do you have to use, you know what I mean? Like, there's so much ways that they could do with this. And as for the compensation, I'm sure, you know, the people that did Act 6 100% are gonna get something. They're probably gonna get a good amount of stuff, honestly. Usually with the compensation and stuff like that, it seems like they give something. I don't know what they're gonna want. I don't know what they're actually going to do, what the compensation would even be. But yeah, it would. I'm sure people are definitely gonna want that. So here we are onto the Book 2 Chapter 1. Now, obviously, when it came out in the beta, a lot of people played it, didn't like it. I even did the beta. That was way overtuned. The one boss fight with Sabretooth, yeah, that was absolutely horrible. But here, let's get into this. It's been a while since the Book 2 Act 1 Chapter 1 beta. We've been hard at work tuning intent into action. We've taken our previous comments about positive reinforcement, more mindful design intent, and respecting player investment, turning them into our goals for story content moving forward. Reward players' accomplishments. Rewards mean more than just crystals and catalysts. While we have always planned to add more path-based rewards to Book 2 as a way of increasing value between completion and exploration, our new avenue for increasing rewards is Insight of Fights. Forcing players to struggle just to do bare minimum against opponents was difficult and unsatisfying, giving players opportunities for massive changes, spikes, and health recoveries for reward themselves. We should be providing them players more often. Outwitting a challenge champion or overcoming a tough buff node or accomplishments, they deserve celebration. Path-based rewards will be added to Book 2 to fill the gap between completion and exploration. Fights will be designed to reward optimal play rather than punish sub-optimal play. And then respect player investment. We've mentioned before that players have invested in their champions they want to play, and we are going to do a better job of giving them more avenues to be used. However, respecting players' investments go down to this next one. Beyond champions, it means being more transparent about what is fair to expect and what is expected to be fair. So real quick, let's go over this beginning part. So yeah, I was actually thinking, I've actually brought this up like a long time ago. I never liked fighting certain, like when you would do story content and stuff, you do, I don't know, what is it? what is 6-2? 6-2 was like what, like 10 pats, 8 pats, 9 pats or something. I hated where basically you went in, you got the initial rewards, and basically all the in-between pats you basically got nothing. So I'm hoping that somehow in some way they're gonna still be able to reward, because I never liked fighting the champion that many, or whatever boss, that many times over and over and over. I feel like no matter if you do a path, you should still be rewarded in some way. And a lot of times in 6.3, 6.1, or 6.1, 6.2, and 6.3, and even 6.4, you're doing certain paths, and they're so like, some of these paths were just crazy hard, and when you get done with them, it was just like you basically used a bunch of units, and that was just to kind of get another path done, and you would basically get nothing. So I would hope for them to put in something to I don't know, to reward you for getting down some of these harder paths. And then real quick, energy cost to complete a path in Book 2 will not exceed 70 energy. The time requirement to complete a path is reduced as part of reducing the scope of quest paths. RPG requirements for fights will be loosened to open up more avenues for counterplay. Yeah, I mean, I know they have it in there, but I want to see it come out first, and then we could actually take a look. Because I mean, a lot of times a lot of stuff is written good until the story content actually drops. Empower players with choices. Most of the meaningful choices made by players happen at the start of the quest. Party composition, which path to start down, activating boost, severity impact opportunities for experimentation, specialization, and strategy, because it's forced players to front load problem solvings, aim the story content, providing more decisions making opportunities inside a quest, as well as expand the variety of choices available. This is so freaking long to read. Story quest will feature multiple final bosses. Woo! For more choices and less repetition. I like that. I actually really do like that. We're slowly rolling out new gameplay for use in Book 2 by introducing a champion swapping in Chapter 1. Inspired by incursions. So I actually like that. Like I just said, I don't like fighting the same boss over and over and over. So swapping out different type of bosses, that might be actually cool. I don't know, like I've talked to a lot of people, I don't know, they agree with me too. They didn't like fighting the same boss in certain parts like 8, 9, 10 times. It's just like, you know, 6 would have been good. I feel like 6 is good enough, but those in-between paths that you do, some of the harder paths, you know, it sucked because like you would get, there's just like no reward or anything. Like it was just like you struggled to get through it, have to use some units, a bunch of revives and everything. And I feel like like those harder paths, I feel like you should get rewarded in a way. But yes, the switching of the champions and stuff, that is actually really cool. Reduce player mental load. Asking players to draft complex battle plans to accomplish a single path in the story content is a big ask, which is why we're reducing the size and complexity of all our maps. We're focusing more on designing less complex buffs, as well as layering fewer overlapped buffs and encounters. Lastly, we are going to begin signposting difficulty for paths. Being able to jump onto a quest and see a clear indication of which paths are easy and which are difficult will speed up the process of determining where players decide they want to go. The number of paths, length of paths, the fights for paths have been decreased. Expect fewer buffs on the majority of encounters, with simpler buffs being applied. Path difficulty will be scaled from easy to hardest, with clear signposting to help identify them. Rewards, PI tuning, etc. So yeah, I never liked the maps where you go in and you can't see anything, you can't move the screen or anything. I always hated that. So yeah, I hope that's what they're definitely getting rid of for that one, and you're going to be able to see the whole entire map. You're going to be able to see what paths you want to go down, but them doing for like the easy paths to the hard paths, that'll be cool. I'd like to definitely see that, but we kind of already don't they basically already have that with the chests, like the 1-star chest, the 2-star chest, 3-star chest paths, 4-star chest paths. So I don't know how different they're actually going to make this. Path difficulties will be scaled on easy to hardest. That's, I don't know. We already, in a way, I guess, already have that. I don't know what they're going to do, but the fewer buffs and everything. Okay, and then the lengths of the paths, I like that. I definitely do. Alright, challenge players with bosses. The climatic final fight in a quest shouldn't be a bottleneck of inescapable difficulty, but an opportunity for players to show off their strength of their roster and the scope of their skills. The structure of the final bosses is undergoing a huge rework, with plans to not only deliver on simpler standalone challenges, but also to provide multiple final bosses per quest. Options and opportunity are key to more meaningful choices and breaking free of the necessary of the fighting of the same final boss 69 times is a great way to bring more of both the story quests. Final bosses are being designed as a standalone experiences. This will rely less on the niche RPG counters and hard skill requirements. Having multiple final bosses per quest will allow us to scale their difficulty and vary their challenge to keep the quest fresh from replays. The ultimate goal is to raise the quality bar and deliver on something more enjoyable, more engaging, and more unique. This means that the story content is going to take more time to craft. Instead of the updated release cadence of fewer quests more often, we're going back to more time in releases with more quests being released. Our new project release date of Book 2 Act 1 Chapter 1 is December of 2020 with plans of the new chapter every 6 months. We promise you it will be worth the wait. I don't know if it's gonna be worth the wait. Like, even though everything sounds nice and everything, it is kabam. So I still like to see it when it comes out, but everything sounds good. I like the way it sounds good. It sounds like it can be good. It sounds like it's going in a direction that I do like, but I still like to see it first and everything and get to experience and then give more of my feedback. But all this, what they're saying, yeah, it sounds good. It sounds good, but we need to play it actually. Now this is the one that everyone has been wanting. Cavalier difficulty. We should have had this last year. Everyone's been begging for it, and like my thing was, like, even though people were begging for it, I feel like when it comes out, people are gonna start complaining now it's too hard, they scaled it too hard, blah 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 blah. Even if like this was a year ago, because I remember when Uncollected first came out, people started complaining in the beginning, oh, this is too hard, blah 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 blah. So I already know with this Cavalier difficulty, people are going to be trying it. Probably shouldn't even be trying it. You should probably be like 100%ing Uncollected, like without using any revives, like no problem. Then yeah, I would definitely say you're gonna have a better time in the Cavalier difficulty. But if you're struggling through Uncollected and you're spending a good amount of revives, I would definitely say Cavalier difficulty. I would wait. I mean, do what you can. Practice, it does make everyone better. But yeah, don't I already know how this is gonna go. All right, so let's go over Kabam Frenchie. I know a lot of you have been waiting for it months after teasing its release. Your favorite Frenchie is here to give you your context around the arrival of the new Cavalier difficulty. Wait a minute, months after teasing? How many months? It wasn't like that long. Like, we just kind of found out about this, so I wouldn't say months. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say months. The purpose of the new Cavalier difficulty is to both help build your roster and face the Grandmaster in Act 6, also prepare you for Book 2 of the contest. Finally, they're thinking the new Cavalier event quest difficulty will be available to those that have achieved the Cavalier title. But that does not mean that once you reach the Cavalier title, exploring or even completing it will be a breeze. At launch, we will have a wide range of Cavalier players trying out this new difficulty, from someone that has recently achieved the milestone to a summoner that has countlessly beaten the Grandmaster. The power and the skill level can vary widely. Our challenge is building up a quest that can appeal to them all. To do so, we are building an easy path in each quest, so that any Cavalier player can attempt to attain the completion rewards without the super wide roster. The completion rewards will help you develop your roster, helping rank up your 5-star champions to rank 5. But like, I don't feel like we already should know that like a Cavalier difficulty is going to have an easy path. Every type of monthly content has an easy path. All the story content always has an easy path. Once your roster is wider and your skills sharpen, you will be able to challenge yourself by attempting the exploration. Exploring the Cavalier difficulty require either a good amount of skill, a wide range of ranked up champions, or a lot of power. But if you succeed, those tier 5 class catalyst fragments will be yours. Why did it take so long? The Cavalier title was released some time ago now, and while it brings some perks with it, without a new difficulty of monthly content, many of you have gone unchallenged by the Uncollected difficulty. on the release of the Cavalier title, we didn't feel releasing an additional difficulty was the right way to give you your monthly content, as it nearly impossible to appeal to and challenge everyone playing it. But that's the thing, the difference in the tiers of the players, you still have to release the content. I don't know, I still don't feel like it just took them way too long. So the next part we'll just skip over. It really means nothing. As time went by without a solution, we heard your voices, decided it was time to create a difficulty, blah 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 blah. So yeah, of course we've been talking about it for so freaking long. I don't know, I just obviously now with all the feedback and everything, now it's like they finally are going to do it. But in my eyes, like, I feel like they weren't working on it. It was until the feedback and everything came and they were like, all right, let's put book 2 on hold and let's make this Cavalier difficulty. I feel like they had no plans to do it anytime soon. I mean, I swear it's been brought up before. So with all the feedback and all the backlash of book 2, yeah, once that went by, I felt like they had nothing to do for the summer. So it's like they got on the ball to make this Cavalier difficulty. I just don't think it should have took that or this long to actually come out with one. And to say for new players, they didn't want the new players to experience it. The game's been out for 5 years, you know, so this should have been in by, I don't know, at least, I don't know, close to a year ago. It should have been. The first Cavalier difficulty will be available on September 2nd. I can hear the anticipation behind your screen, so to keep you sharp, we're going to run 2 side quest difficulties while we finalize the tuning of the event quest, starting this July with the Canadian difficulty, because obviously next month it has Sasquatch and yeah, the other guy, Guardian is his name. Yeah, Guardian. I can't believe I almost called him Red Guardian, but Guardian. We are starting the side quests because they are so much more fluid when it comes to the difficulty and rewards. While you battle against Sasquatch, we will gather data and feedback to help us ensure that everything is ready and in a good spot for September. If all goes well, we will see the new legendary side quest difficulty alongside the new Cavalier event quest difficulty. So July, Canadian difficulty side quest. August is the Herald difficulty side quest. So obviously August, we're getting a new Herald. I know a lot of people were talking about that Cosmic Ghost Rider, so that would be cool. That would be definitely cool. Hopefully do get a Cosmic Ghost Rider. Is that the one with Baby Thanos? I've been hearing a lot about that one. And in September, Cavalier difficulty event quest launch. So for the reward boost story update, so the rewards for Act 1 got a boost. Now for they're on the verge of releasing the new and improved Act 2 rewards, but we haven't revealed our plan and the reason behind it, and everyone's favorite topic, the compensation. So yeah, I think we're getting near the end. It has Kabam That Gym. It says, hey folks, Kabam That Gym, about to wrap things up. Yeah, this has been a lot of reading, but it's been years since the sound of your fist breaking skulls has been backed by something fresh and befitting of your impact your 6 stars strike with. So yeah, I guess they're changing the battle music, all new battle music that ups the ante on the original and strikes fear into wary summoners. Boss music, bigger, badder, and bolder. New boss track is truly aspiring. So yeah, I don't mind. Whatever. New music, that's cool. Quest exploration. Finally, when exploring a quest, you will get all new music instead of the old menu sounds. Champion selection, having a hard time choosing your team while pursuing at your roster has gotten even better with the brand new backtrack. Alright, Boss Rush and more. Now, people love the Boss Rush, people love the Celebrity Challenge and stuff, but the Boss Rush, people love that too. So this summer, we'll be releasing something that's a new spin on our Boss Rush content called the Summoner Smackdown. You'll freely unlock a new Boss Rush each week for 5 weeks. Completing each week grants you an unlock item requirement to participate in the final week, the Omega Quest, which combines the previous 5 weeks bosses for the ultimate challenge. This content will be available in all of our usual difficulties. Let us know what you think of the format when it comes in your way late in July. More, as they say on the nightly news. And finally, it is our mission to provide more engaging, strategic, rewarding, and downright fun fights as the contest evolves, which changes to Act 6 the awesomeness of the Book 2. That sweet Variant 5 and the long-awaited Cavalier difficulty. There is something for almost everyone. So yeah, the Boss Rush, I'm excited for the boss rush. I like boss rushes. I like that kind of content. I know some people don't like it, and they get mad and they start yelling at the content creators, whatever, that do the those fights and make those fights and everything. But I have fun doing them. I like doing them. When I say almost, I'm talking about that special group at the top, those that have bested everything and laughed into the abyss. Well, we can't have that now, can we? It's time for a little test. It's time for some real pain. Summer of Pain working title. As if the summer didn't have enough, we're designing a brand new challenge for the best of the best MCO players, something for those that have blasted through all of Act 6, beaten Abyss. Basically, they have destroyed everything in this contest. They beat everything. Something comes out, doesn't matter how hard it is, they just smack it around like it ain't nothing. In response to these feats and to deliver challenges will test your sanity, we're working on something that may make you question life itself. I thought that was supposed to be for the Abyss. Like, wasn't that the tagline for the Abyss? I swear, I gotta somehow find that. But people just ran through the Abyss. So personally, I don't care what you do for the top 1%. They're gonna get through anything. Those dudes are gonna get through anything that you throw at them. Might not be like the first couple days, but give it a week and a half, they're gonna get it all. They're gonna figure every way to knock it out. I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want to say, they're gonna get it done. The strongest, the most fearsome, and finger-breakingly difficult fights from across the contest will return, but in unique roster requirements, smaller teams, and new ways to play them. I don't care. They're gonna get it done. I don't care. So later this summer, we'll be throwing down the gauntlet to the best of the best. So yeah, basically the best of the that 1% player base. Yeah, I'm guessing this is all towards you, but I'm sure plenty of people are going to try this. You will need your skill, all your roster, and all your bravery to best the Summer of Pain. Stay tuned as we gear up to reveal more on this new challenge. So yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Everyone likes hard content, but if you're going strictly, I feel like, as the best of the best, the top 1%, I don't even know if they, whatever it is, but yeah, they're gonna figure a way around it. They're gonna get through it and stuff. The only time I could think like of a way to do something just to show skill would be not use unit man, like doing something that doesn't allow you to use like revives or units or anything. So but I'm sure it's not gonna be like that. But these dudes, they find a way. They will find a way. Some of these upper guys have crazy rosters. So yeah, even though they're saying it's gonna be hard, it's gonna make them rethinking life and everything itself. They're going to question life itself. I'm sorry. So yeah, they're gonna get through this, no problem. So yeah, but that's cool though that they're releasing some kind of fun content for them to do, and if they beat it, they do get rewards. So that is cool, and I'm not the best of the best by any means. But still, I still like to see this stuff, and I still like to try it, because I feel like in this game, practice, you're gonna get better. And that's it for today, folks. We've hyped up the future of quests, and we can't wait to reveal even more over the coming months. Join us on Thursday as we deep dive into the future of alliances, the MCOC dev team. So I'm not really doing alliances right now, so I don't know if I'm gonna make a video on that. I'm not really doing like alliance quests or obviously alliance wars and stuff, but I'm thinking about getting back into it. So I wish they would have showed something for like rewards or something for the difficulty. I wish they would be like, hey, we're going to throw units into uncollected. For some odd reason, I still want to see those units in uncollected. I don't know why, and I hope they don't do that for Cavalier difficulty. There's a lot here there's a lot here that sounds awesome. Everything sounds good. I like the way what they're saying, but let's wait until the content comes out, because I want to be like, oh, it's saved, everything is great, but everything sounds like it's going in a great direction. But I still like to see the content comes out, because they're not explaining a lot of stuff. Some of the stuff they are explaining, but some of the things they didn't really explain. They're just making it sound really good, and which is good. I don't mind. People are gonna get hyped up over it, but once we see the content, then we could kind of give our feedback then ourselves. But it just sounds like they got a lot going on, like a lot, and it just seems like things kind of roll out really slow. And for them to kind of do like this 180 and things are going to start coming out faster, these champs are going to get reworked twice, 2 champs a month, stuff like that. I don't know, man. I feel like maybe they're putting too much on their plate. Maybe they got scared of all the feedback and they're just trying to throw out as much as they can. And I don't know. I'm wondering if they're just going to throw out way too much too quick. Things are going to be messed up. There's going to be bugs left and right. So hopefully they're going to do everything. They're going to test everything first, which we know they really don't. And that's the sad part. But hopefully some of the stuff that will be in obviously for the Cavalier, that's cool. It's in the beta. So then we can give our feedback for the first 2 months. So for the Cavalier difficulty, for the people that can do it, give your feedback. So when we actually do have a Cavalier difficulty, it's not a bunch of BS, and we've given our feedback on it. We tell them how we feel on it. So definitely, if you're gonna do it, give the feedback. But yeah, guys, sorry, there was a lot to talk about. Sometimes when I read, I'm reading and then I'm thinking of something else, and then like I forget what I want to say. So I hope I didn't forget anything. It's a problem I've had ever since school. I'll read something and like I'm thinking of something and I would just forget the total paragraph that I just read. So this was actually very hard to read all this for me, but I did it. I got through it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys let me hear some of your thoughts in the comments. Man, I can't talk because I feel like I've been talking forever right now. But yeah, that's it. Let me know in the comments how you guys think. And yeah, that's it. If you're new to the channel, please drop kick that sub, hip thrust that like button, and donkey kick that bell to be notified when I do go live or upload a video. And I will see you guys later. Peace.